Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here. Today's video is going to be a compilation of going over some new skincare and makeup finds that I picked up from Ulta and Sephora in the past week, which I know we've talked about me being an intentional buyer, and that's something we're gonna get to today, trust me. But it's just a small haul, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of my first impressions, especially on some really innovative skincare from the Inkey list. We'll get into it. And I wanted to go over my, not goals or resolutions for 2021, but more kind of mull over how 2020 was for me, not only as a content creator, but as a person in my life, in my work, and the things that I want to do with my life. So I wrote down literally a note in my phone called 2021 Thoughts, and I kind of broke it out in different areas of my life and just kind of noticing things about the way that it went in 2020 and how I want to either continue that into 2021 or things that I want to change. And I hope that some of these can be helpful to you as well. Before we dive in, I want to make it clear on my channel where I stand, with what's going on in the world and in the country, and it's something we'll end up talking about throughout this video. But if you guys want to talk about anything that's been going on, this past week with this literal domestic terrorism, people trying to break into the Capitol building, I would be more than happy to talk to you about it. I know that it's been a really, really tough week, and I don't want to just continue to post content that has no value and is meaningless during a time where I feel like people need a little bit of comfort, but also I'm not going to just ignore what's going on. So that's kind of what the video is going to be today. I hope you like it, and let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pin my little hair back. I don't remember if I've talked about this or not, but I got a pack of some sponges from Amazon that were actually a recommendation from Makeup by Tiffany D, and I knew that they had to be good because she is a beauty blender only type of girl, and so when she found sponges that were worthy of her, I was like, I'm gonna have to get them. And it came in an 8-pack. They're so soft, literally the softest sponges I've ever tried. So I'll leave these down below. I've literally stopped buying beauty blenders and Real Technique sponges since I started buying these, so amazing. The first thing we're gonna test out is this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I have mine in the shade Medium 30W. I ended up picking this up because people were saying that it is a dupe for the YSL Touche Eclat concealer, and also you guys know that I really love my light to medium glowy concealer from Tarte, and if I can find a drugstore alternative, then I will. I have worn this one time just to see if it was the right color for me, and I was super impressed. So I'm not gonna say it's a dupe just yet, but this is the only real coverage product I'm gonna use today because my skin is looking pretty good right now. I'm not even gonna color correct because I want you guys to see what it truly looks like. So the first thing that I, wrote down was social life and friendships. And I feel like this year was a real test to friendships everywhere and relationships in general. Not only do I feel like it was a year that people had different feelings about what was going on in the world and that was tested, but also there was a shift in the way that you interact with people and the way that people want to hang out with each other. And you really had to be on the exact same page all year, or it was uncomfortable. And I don't know if you guys experienced that, but my husband and I took the pandemic and are taking the pandemic very seriously because both of our families have been sick with it, and it's just the right thing to do, point blank. That is my opinion. We, canceled our wedding, which I have a story time on that if you're interested. And, I can't say that all of my friends or people that have been in my life have acted the same way as me, and that's been something to adjust to and something that I'm trying to take note of. We've definitely seen less people because of it, which I think obviously is the right thing to do, but it does add a little bit of strain to friendships. And so going into 2021, knowing what I know about the people that are in my life or that were in my life, I feel like it's important to make a decision whether or not you want to keep those people in your life or not when things go quote unquote back to normal. Do you feel like you want to keep people in your life that you don't align with morally? Do you want to continue to spend time with people that maybe you didn't actually miss during the pandemic? Those are all things to consider, and it's a hard conversation to have with yourself, and I feel like it's something that I want to just really try and pay attention to next year. I know I've kind of gone all over my face here with this product, but it blends so easily that I feel like you can kind of add some coverage wherever you want. Because it is that pen style product, I just really like it. My under eyes are definitely still a little bit blue, but the coverage to me is exactly what I want because I can use an under eye corrector if I need to go in with that. So it also layers really nicely, so I can go in again with a little bit more towards the bottom of my eyes, and it blends out so well. So I am loving this. If you are looking for something similar to the Hydro Sealer, totally pick this up. And if you don't like to wear foundation, like I don't wear foundation every single day, this is a great alternative stamp of approval. I'm just gonna set that with my Laura Mercier powder, nothing special there, and I don't have any new powders because I don't need one. This is still my favorite. And I did post my favorite makeup of 2020 last week, so if you're interested, you can check that out. I'll link it up above, and this product was included in that. So of course, on my notes, my resolutions here, I do have a section about health and just general lifestyle changes and updates that I feel like most people see in their resolutions. I'm gonna do my bronzer with the Revlon Skin Lights. I don't have a new bronzer here. And this is in the shade 115 Sun-Kissed Beam. I love this stuff. So some of the habits that I really do want to build in 2021 are some that I have already started doing this year, and I feel like could be an easy shift to start taking care of more readily. I talked a lot about these in a fall vlog that I uploaded a few months ago that I can link up above, where I talked about this app called Habit. I can put in a little picture of what that looks like, but basically you kind of track the things that you're doing on a daily basis or that you want to do, and it kind of just shows you what you're actually working on and maybe also what you actually want to be working on. And so I tried to create goals that are not so numbers driven, but more do this 3 times a week, or drink more water instead of drink 100 gallons of water. So the things that I wrote down were, I want to learn French, which I am already doing with the Duolingo app, which I said was a favorite of mine, I think a couple months ago in a favorites video. I want to work out more, which I think everyone kind of does in the new year, especially because this past year has been one for the books in terms of my health. I think everyone can agree it was just a frustrating year, and I personally prefer to work out in a group setting, and so that was kind of hard for me. But we did get a workout bike, so that's on my list of to-dos. Drinking more water, as we all do. Reading more, not necessarily putting a number of books that I have to read, but more just spending more time in a book rather than on my phone, especially on TikTok, because it can just be scrolling. Waking up earlier, because I am not a morning person at all. If you have any tips on waking up early or chipper when you are just not naturally that way, please let me know, because as you know, I have a sleep machine to try and help me with it, and it's still very difficult for me. And then also, I would like to look into more vitamins and supplements for my body and the things that I want to take care of a little bit more. I definitely don't want to get crazy with it, but for example, I started taking psyllium husk because my sister Andy, we just filmed a video together. She recommended it as her fiber supplement, and it is amazing. And so to see a difference so quickly in my body just from doing that, I feel like I want to kind of look into other areas that I can continue to, help my health with supplemental help, because right now all I take is my multivitamins. So I want to look into like probiotics, gut health, that sort of thing. So that's definitely on my list, and those are like my rounding out the health area of my 2021 goals. Are you shocked? I got some more Nude Sticks products. I was waiting for this set to come to Sephora because this was on the Nude Sticks website. This is a set with Sun-Kissed and Bubbly BB, their highlighter. I've never had this one before. I've only had Hey Honey, and they're incredibly similar since swatching them. I have a mini of the Sun-Kissed, and it's just so beautiful. It is the perfect bronzy nude red terracotta shade, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to be using these two today. You already know I love them both. I will talk a little bit more about the highlighter when we get there, but I do like to apply them directly to a brush and then go in on my face. On top of just health, my body health, a huge factor of my life is supporting my mental health. And I'm not gonna go into everything just yet with you guys, but I, have been in therapy and have a great therapist for the past like 5 years. I recommend therapy to everyone, no matter what. Even if you feel like you're not going through anything, it is so helpful and just generally good to have an unbiased person to kind of bounce your feelings off of, especially if you're dealing with something difficult like we all are this year. And I kind of, I'm coming up with loose goals for myself and how I want to handle my mental health next year. And I wrote down, accept who I am and how this year has changed me and my life. To me, that's a profound thing and very difficult to do, to really, and that's kind of what we're doing here together, really looking at the entire year and noticing the ways that it changed you and the ways it changed you for the good and the bad, and how you want to take that knowledge that you learned and gained from this year and take it into next year, or decide to leave it behind. So I really do recommend you kind of really think about it. Like, one thing that I noticed this year that I didn't think I would is that I really like being home. Being home has not been difficult for me. Being with my husband and my dog has been great. I miss my friends, I miss going out to eat, and I miss going into work, but for the most part, I have enjoyed being home with them, and more than I thought I would. And that's something that I kind of felt like I needed to reconcile with, and realizing, you know what, even though you're an outgoing person and you're an extroverted person, you're still a homebody, and that's okay. You're allowed to be more than one thing. Like, when I do go out, I'm so happy to see people, but will I choose to go out over staying in? Probably not. And that's okay. And that's something that I learned about myself this year. And something I just need to remember next year is not to get burnt out by going once, sort of the world opens back up again. Something that I feel is important to myself and the way the world is just headed is to continue to learn about why human behavior is the way it is and why we say and act the way we do, and to kind of discover that with my therapist, because it gives you a lot of background information on people and why they act the way they act, or why they believe in what they believe. And a lot of the times it's just based on what your parents were. And it's hard to meet people in the middle when you don't agree. It's important to remember where people came from and put yourself in their shoes sometimes. And so that's something that I continue to strive to learn about, instead of being incredibly judgmental up top. But it can be hard. And the last thing that I want to do to help improve my mental health this year is to meditate more. Who else has heard that this year? This was like the year of everyone meditating, and for good reason. I pay $12 a month for the Headspace app, and I maybe use it once a week, if that, when I'm feeling anxious. But a lot of having anxiety is keeping up with it even when things are going well, so that when things aren't going well, you know how to take care of it. So I definitely want to keep up with that this year, take more time to myself to really slow down, not looking at my phone, not talking to someone, not doing something, and just let my thoughts pass. It can be incredibly difficult, but let me know if you guys are on the meditation train. So this is Sunkissed and Bubbly BB. Bubbly BB? Yeah, I don't love that name. This is a matte blush, so it does dry down. The highlighter does not. The highlighter stays partially tacky forever, which I don't love, but the thing about it is makes it look incredibly natural and always this like fresh dewy look. So you just have to be careful with how you wear your hair when you wear a Nude Sticks highlight, but the actual look of the skin is just so beautiful. So really loving this. Glad I picked that up. So far we're 2 for 2 on new stuff. I'm gonna go back into the Revlon Skin Lights in 115 Sunkissed Beam and just buff that into my eye to have like an all over wash of color. I also wrote down the heading of lifestyle, and this kind of ties into you guys and my channel and how I want to go forward as a person in the beauty industry, or a person who makes beauty content. One of the number one things I wrote down, which I've talked to you guys about before, is become an intentional buyer in all areas of life. So what does that mean for me? To me, that means I ask myself questions before I decide to purchase something. Those questions being, do I have something similar? Do I need it? Can I borrow it from someone? Am I already, in possession of this item, like multiple lipsticks in the same color, for example, just because it's from a different brand. So that is definitely the number one thing that I want to practice this year, because I would love to open my makeup drawers and know that every single thing is something that I love. And right now, that's just not what it is. Like, it's getting there. But there are a lot of things in here that I've like tried to give second chances to before. Like if you saw my declutter, I gave way too many second chances in there for products I literally never touched again. I want you to expect more declutters on this channel because I want to walk through everything and get rid of the things I don't want. And that's just not makeup in my life, hair care products, jewelry, clothing, all of my possessions. Like filling my house up with possessions is just driving me bonkers, as I say, as I have all these new products here. But being also someone who makes content on the internet about beauty products, I also still want to be in the know and to be able to offer you guys, you know, good alternatives to things. So it's a fine line, but right now that is an important thing that I want to take into next year. I don't have any mascara with me, so I'm going in with the Voluminous Lash Paradise. And that was the second thing I wrote down, which was declutter my things and enjoy the things I own. I want to look in my closet and in my makeup and be like, oh, I love everything here. Any of these work together and I don't have to think about it. I love sitting down and doing my makeup, and so I want to be able to really use and enjoy the products that I own and then decide whether or not I want to continue to purchase that or buy something new. So that's definitely a huge goal for next year, and clearly I'm not off to the best start. I think this Lash Paradise is getting a little chunky. I've had her for quite some time. I also wrote follow my own trends and follow whatever I want for fashion, because this year I really got into the fashion looks and following trend, and I blame a lot of that on TikTok. A lot of these trends I really liked and I enjoyed kind of getting more into fashion this year, but I realized, like, you know what, if I like this hairstyle and if I like wearing a dickie under my sweater, I'm gonna decide to keep doing it even if it's not popular next year. Like, who cares, you know? Like, I want to wear what I want to wear, and if someone doesn't like it, they can screw right off. Like, who cares? I am going into 2021 with very much of a who cares mentality, and I recommend you do the same. We'll see how that holds up, you know, in public, but if I like something, regardless if it's trendy or not, I want to wear it, and that's the energy I want to go into next year. And with makeup as well. Like, I really found my groove this year with wearing minimal glowy makeup, and I'm not planning on changing that just because we go back out into the world and having a big ass cut creases in style again. No, that's not what I want. Like, if I want to continue wearing minimal makeup and wearing a tiny ass bit of concealer as foundation, I'm gonna keep doing it. And the people who support me will support me, and the ones that don't, they won't, and that's okay. And I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here now. The last thing that I wrote in this category is continue to learn more about skincare and makeup industry and the brands behind the products. That's something I noticed about myself and others this year, is how little I know about the brand and how much I know about the product, if that makes sense. Like, I know everything about this bronzer, for example. The Too Faced Sweet Tea Sweetheart Bronzer. You guys know it's one of my absolute favorites, but knowing now what I know about Jared Blandino and Too Faced and the way that they run their business, I don't really want to support them. And so I need to kind of figure out a way to marry my wanting to go through things and wanting to be intentional about what I use and determining the best brands to wear or not to wear. And that also goes with, you know, skincare ranges and lines of foundation and who's inclusive and who's not. And it's hard to keep up with all of it, but that's sort of what I've signed up for as someone who is passing along information about beauty products to you guys. And that's just something I want to learn more about in 2021 and make sure I'm supporting businesses with my money and with my voice that I align with morally and with my values. We do have a new brow product. This is the NYX The Brow Glue. Have you guys seen this on TikTok? I know I bring up TikTok a lot, but that is where a lot of the newer products are coming out and being marketed on TikTok rather than YouTube these days. So I'm just finding a lot of them on TikTok or with TikTok influencers. So this is an instant brow styler, and people were saying this is super strong hold. I mean, it's called the Brow Glue, and I have used it once. I did like it, but you know, there are some interesting things about it. It's very, very goopy. So, you know, it has this like literal glue-like texture, like think an Elmer's glue, and it is clear. So I don't usually love clear gel products because they usually leave a little bit of a white cast or funky color on my eyebrows. This one, I didn't super notice that. I think that it kind of dries down a bit, not all the way. but I do like it. I think for a clear brow gel that's actually clear, I appreciate that, because as you guys know, I've talked about the Glossier Boy Brow in clear. It's actually white. The ColourPop one is also white, and so it just makes my eyebrows look insane because my eyebrows are pitch black. So to find an actual clear eyebrow gel that keeps these suckers up is pretty much a miracle, and that it's drugstore, I like that even more. It just does take a little bit of time to dry down, but I can deal with that. The only other thing that I would worry about with this is that if you did use a powder or a pencil brush underneath it, it might take that away because it is really wet and very sticky. But because I don't really use anything underneath my gels, I don't have that problem. So if you have thick, bushy, full brows, you might really, really like this. So the last sort of section of goals or things that I wanted to ruminate on this past year and next year were my YouTube and my TikTok channels, and you know, sort of those numerical goals that people set for themselves. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really know if what I'm doing is good, if the amount of growth I have is good, if things are working. Like, I know that for having only been on YouTube for like 6 months, that I'm doing pretty well, but I feel like other YouTubers know their analytics inside and out, and that's kind of something I want to focus on. But also, YouTube is not my main job. I do it for fun. I don't feel like I have quite as much pressure riding on my back. I did see that Smoky Glow posted a video saying the goal, I guess, as a social media person would be to have at least 10% engagement in anything you post, which would be, for me, 500 views a video, since I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers, which, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And I do get about that much. There are some makeup videos that I don't as much, but my skincare videos get almost twice that. So I do feel good about that if that's actually the case. I do kind of want to set goals for myself so that I can continue to feel motivated, because when things do kind of go back to whatever they were, I have a job, I have to go into my office, I have friends, I have a life, I love music, I love eating. So finding time to post is going to be harder and harder. And so I still have a goal here to continue to post 2 times a week, even after life goes back to normal, because I have really enjoyed getting to know you guys and finding a community that supports me online, and it's just been so fun. So I want to make sure that I continue to do that into next year. I also wrote make videos that people are asking for. So I get a lot of comments for specific videos, and because they're not necessarily on my docket, I just kind of forget about them. That's stupid. If you guys are asking me for something specific, that's what you want to see, and I should make it. Like, people ask about my hair care routine and my jewelry and makeup on tretinoin, which is a video I've had in my head for so long, and I just keep putting it off. So I really want to prioritize videos that people request in the next year. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see, I kind of went through it with my spoolie, and there are tiny little white bits, like flakes in it from the brow gel, but it's not bad. I do like it. I'm gonna wear it all day, and I'll let you guys know if they end up staying up and in place, because it could be a good alternative to the Boy Brow in clear if you don't want to use a colored brow product. All right, so the base and the eyes are done, and I've got the Agave Plus Intense Lip Mask from Bite Beauty, and I feel like this was super popular at one point in time on YouTube. Like, everybody loved the Agave Bite mask and the Agave lip mask and the scrub and all of that from Bite. It was so popular. And then someone told me recently, or I remember seeing, that it was reformulated and now everyone hates it. And I've never tried it, so I wanted to try it, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Like, I'm literally gonna throw it right in the trash. I think that this was a 100-point perk, so I didn't spend any money on it. It is so sticky. I mean, it is the stickiest lip product I've ever used. There's no way I'm gonna be able to show you guys, but like, it's like, ugh. It almost feels like you're putting honey on your lips, which makes sense, right? Because it's agave. But I don't know, you guys. I really don't like the way it feels. Oh, I do not like it at all. Like, no. So that was kind of a fail from this haul, but that's okay because I didn't actually pay for it. So instead, I am just gonna put some of the blush that I have on my lips, and then I'm gonna go over it with a gloss that I got for Christmas, which I'll talk about. So another thing I had on this list about, you know, like numerical value on my social media was about TikTok, because I decided to join TikTok so that I could reach people quicker and answer their questions quicker regarding tretinoin or skincare or beauty, and I definitely have gotten to do that. But my TikTok, the algorithm on TikTok really allows for you to grow quickly if you do have a viral video, which I've had a few random viral videos, and so I'm at 18,000 followers on TikTok, which is obviously a lot more than YouTube, and a lot of my TikTok followers have followed me onto my YouTube platform, which, as you guys know, YouTube is more important to me than TikTok is. And so if I'm able to kind of push people from my TikTok channel to my YouTube, where I put in so much more work and effort, I want to continue to do that while making videos that don't take so much effort, that I can reach a lot of people. So I have goals, you know, TikTok wise, but YouTube, I would love to, I mean, this is maybe far-fetched, but to hit 10,000 subscribers in 2021, probably near the end of 2021, would be amazing, just because I hit about 5,000 in 6 months. So I'm thinking I should be able to do it in a year, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't even know if that many people know what tretinoin is, but we'll find out. So my sister Andy got me a bunch of really sweet makeup products for Christmas. She got me the little Tower 28 lip jelly set, which is so cute because I've been looking for some new good glosses, and these glosses are so nice. This is the clear gloss in the color Chill, and I'm just gonna put this on top. I also got, as you know, a ton of Kosas products, and I'm planning on doing a full face of Kosas because I literally have almost everything they make, which is crazy. How did I accumulate that so fast? All right, let's quickly go over the other few things I got in this haul. I'll take out my little clippies. This is the final look. So skincare, I picked up the Florence by Mills Look Alive Eye Balm. And I know you're like, what do you mean you picked up a Florence by Mills product? I know most of their skincare is not up my alley. We all know that. A lot of it is like fragrance and for teenagers. However, I heard really good things about this eye cream on, you guessed it, TikTok. And I went ahead and put the ingredients in Inky Decoder, and it came up really well. And I've always wanted to try an eye balm that has this sort of silver cooling tip on it, and it really is always cold. It has caffeine in it. This is like literally the last eye balm I'm going to buy, but I purchased it because I wanted something to put with the Dew eye gels that I got for Christmas. I don't remember if I talked about them or not. I think I did in my last video, but they're reusable eye patches, and so I wanted a really good eye cream to be able to wear with them, so that's why I got this. So far, really liking it. And then I got the new succinic acid acne treatment with salicylic acid from the Inky List. You guys probably have seen this on a lot of people's pages recently. I know that Cassandra Bankson made an entire video on this. So succinic acid is a new form of acid that's an acne treatment that is similar to salicylic acid. It kind of helps break up blockage inside the pore and helps get rid of like the debris inside of your pores. It also has salicylic acid and it has sulfur in it. And look at the color of it. You guys are gonna be shook. Look, it's green. It's naturally green from the succinic acid, so don't freak out. It's not, you know, fake, but this can be used alone or under makeup because green is like a very nice color correcting color for redness, so that's kind of cool. And you're probably wondering why I got it, because you guys know how I feel about adding in more treatment with your tretinoin, but I do think, since I've been on tretinoin for over 18 months now, that adding in a spot treatment on nights where I'm not using tretinoin, if I do have a few pimples, is kind of what I've been looking for. And so to find one that is really robust and kind of has some new and buzzworthy ingredients in it, I definitely want to try it. So far, I have used it on this chin pimple, this little one here, and honestly, they did flatten in 2 nights of using this. So far so good. It didn't irritate my skin at all, and I did use tretinoin last night, so really liking this as well. So pretty much everything in here was a win except for this agave lip mask, which is fine because I didn't pay for it, as mentioned. Let me know if you guys have any questions on any of these products. I'm happy to continue to wear them and give you a more in-depth review down the line. I also hope that this was helpful to you in some way, or that you can take some time to reflect on 2020 and how it's changed you and the ways that you want to change and grow in 2021. I finally got my FabFitFun from winter. It was like lost in the mail for the past month, and we're going to do a full review just like I did with the fall box. I've got a lot to say. There's a lot of tubes, but it's not the worst box I've ever seen, I'll say that. Let me know some of your New Year's goals, resolutions, you know, ideas, whatever it is that you call them. Let me know in the comments so we can hold each other accountable, and I will see you guys in the next video really soon. Bye!